All right, because everybody's whining and getting upset. We are live. We're live a minute early. It's always 9:30, guys. And for some reason, I put down 9 o'clock. Why? Because I'm a retard. I don't really know. Probably that. Charles Watts says, "Do you know or recognize anybody by the name Sean?" Nope. Nope. No. Nobody here for Sean. Let's see though. Who was first tonight? Oh yeah, it's your boy Monad first. Yep. It's always important. Oh, we got a super chat to start off the night too. It's kind of neat. It's like the big time. So, no White Claws tonight, but this is also a prop for another video coming up. I wonder if I can expense this out as a tax write-off for the LLC. Anyways, RN Rules for $9.99 says, I heard from Nick via his chat there may be a toe looking issue going on. Is this something that we should be looking into? Sadly, we're approaching 15,000 subscribers, and we'll get to talk about that. No, and it's not about me licking toes. It's not about me going like, to some toes. It's about a gentleman I defended who had a penchant for putting his tongue all over the tarsals of women. So that is what that's about. And we'll get to that. 15,000. We're almost there. We are at right now. God, I don't want to look because I've been like thrilled with the growth, but I've been seeing this getting closer and closer, and it's making me nervous. 14,883. Yeah, we're almost there. We are almost there. A little scary. A little bit scary. All right. So let's see. Where are we? Did I have a live feed today? Nope. Zero Signal says, yeah, we're looking at 5 or 35. You guessed right. You guessed right. No Darrell Brooks till Monday. That is correct. But like I told you guys, I've got, well, the trial I had set for next week may not be going down. Supposedly, one of the victims, or I'm sorry, actually not one of the victims. Actually, yeah, is it the CI? Yeah, the CI who we're making that snitch show up. Apparently, it got sick and had emergency surgery, so he might not be ready to go. They're gonna let me know for sure tomorrow, so it might be getting continued a week or two. Kind of sucks, but oh well. We'll still beat that ass and take home the dub later. Oh, we're 3 minutes in. Okay, I can say I did swear too bad for YouTube. So I might be here for Darrell Brooks on Monday. Might not. Don't know yet. Okay. Other than that, I know it's Thursday. Hope everybody's getting ready for a great start to their weekend. Where are we? Daniela says it's glad she's back to listening to audiobooks. Yeah. It's nice to have a different change of things. Take your swang. Danielle says Brooks required to be at the witness statements. I could see him as a no-show. He has to be there for his sentencing. They'll drag him into court, and at that point, it doesn't matter if he's manacled up in handcuffs and waistband and everything. If he's basically short of strapped to a chair, they can do pretty much whatever the hell they want at this point. He doesn't have to be in street clothes. He can be in a jumpsuit. No, he has to be there for the sentencing. And I don't see the judge, after all the crap he's pulled, letting him get away with that. There's just no way. Wow, Sean. I know. I'm impressed with myself, too. Thank you. Ethan Crumbley pled guilty. Yes, we're going to talk about him. That was kind of like the thing that snuck in this week. Big surprise. Didn't this say 8 earlier? No, there's no way in hell it would ever be at 8. No, Dwayne. Yes, all Sean must be in all caps to be relevant. Muralist. I think I've addressed this before, but it's for I think it's one of the appellate courts in New York City has that. The three angels and the three women of justice up there. And obviously I did my little additions to it. And hold on my nose. Feeling better than yesterday, but geez, that was rough. Yes, Zero Fox Glock check. Always important. Tom, hello. Your taste in beer never fails to amaze. Like I told you, I'm a man of the people. You can laugh at me all you want, but it is how it goes. Nick writes off all his alcohol because it's part of his business and brand. Yeah, but I'm not to that point yet. Alpha Fox says, can you yell happy birthday, Sydney, to my daughter? It will freak her out. Sure. Is your sound up? I'll give you like 10 or 15 seconds here. All right, that's probably good enough now. Happy 8th birthday, Sydney. There you go. Hold on. Oh, crap. I messed that up. That's not good. Come on. Come on. Oh, why? That's what didn't happen. Why is this not working? I can't stand this damn thing sometimes. Yes, 1488 subs. Oh no. Harris Riley says, "Am I jealous of beating Darrell beating my high score?" Yeah, I've never had that many. I've never had that many guilty convictions yet. Nobody's alt but mine says the guy that Dante Wright shot died. Well, I guess things kind of evened out in the end karmically. I mean, we could say whether or not Kim Potter had the right, or she was justified or not. But yeah, Dante tried to go after somebody and got himself. So how the world goes. Aaron with Dog says I subbed today. Well, thank you. Let's see here. Wow, you guys are just peppering away the questions here. If you do a drink screen, I'd probably write off. Yeah, maybe. Gotta be careful. Ooh, 53 and not pregnant. What? Okay. Critter. Hey, how you doing tonight, Critter? It's always good to see you around. Thank you for being here. Eric Folmes, you're saying the dude Kim Potter shot someone before all this? Yes. Dante Wright was getting his hands dirty. He was all about that business. You know, like Darrell Brooks likes talking about being about that business. Dante Wright really was doing that stuff and had some issues. Jim, it's always good to see you, Jim. Hope you're doing well. I know we talked on Discord earlier, but yes, it is a good day. And I think we'll start off there because it is important. If you guys don't know, Elon Musk now owns Twitter, and he has gone through and now he said he was going to get rid of like 75% of everybody, and they all came running to him crying and begging not to do it. He hasn't done that yet, but Parag Agrawal, Vijaya Gad, the two main people that were kind of running the show. And if you remember Vijaya, she was the one who went with Jack Dorsey and did the bullshit session on the Joe Rogan podcast when Tim Pool was trying to corner her on things. So, yep, she's gone. Happy trails. Bye, Felicia. Although, I think she made like $15 million this year. So, joke's on me, I guess. If she gets to make her couple $1 million and walk away. But I do think it is interesting. And this was from yesterday, but I do think it is fun. Daddy Elon's walking into his new kingdom. And you can hear the rees all the way up in Canada. Yeah, let that sink in. Although you can't tell if that's he's just carrying a sink or he's just carrying his massive balls. Either way, let's hope he does the right thing. Okay. Yeah, he made a secret speech to Twitter staff. Who knows what exactly is in it? Hopefully it's good. Hopefully he says like, y'all better start. He's like, hopefully he said, y'all better have your resumes ready to go. Type them up. Sadly, I don't think he's going to do that. I do not think he's going to do that. Yep, she was fired and escorted from the building. It's Major League Trolling. Yep. Are you going to, Linda Tuttamore says, are you going to cover any Ohio versus Wagner? Yes. I'm going to now that there's some break. And especially if I don't have the trial next week, I'm going to, because there were a couple big appeals court decisions that came down, interlocutory appeals, which Darrell Brooks kept asking about those. Can I appeal this right away? Well, there were some things appealed up to the appellate courts here in Ohio. And, excuse me. And they made a couple different rulings. One of the big things was these idea that the witnesses were having the right to testify not on camera. Court said, nope, we ain't doing that. You guys got to sit up there and be filmed, which I think they should. Especially you're talking about law enforcement agents. Like, I don't want to be filmed. You're a fucking cop, dude. Come on. What do you mean? You wanted to come up here and bear witness. People should see your face. That's transparency. That's how it should work. So I'm glad that got fixed. There were a couple other ones, and I need to look into them and read about them. But yes, I do think I want to be able to cover that now because we are at the point where the brother has now testified. And I think that's very important. That's the critical piece. The rest of this is interesting, but this brother coming and testifying saying, yeah, we killed all these people. That's the interesting part. So yes, I will be trying to work on something with that coming up. So Tail says, yes, it was a fun multi-level joke. Yes. Very much so. Did I miss something somewhere? No, I didn't miss. I caught up. Yeah, he fired Mr. Squiggle saying he fired 4 top executives. Yeah. Parag as the CEO. He acts the CFO. He got rid of Ajaya because she's part of the trust and safety team or whatever it is. The little commissar that she is. And also, who the hell are you guys talking about being pregnant? I don't know who you guys are talking about. Yeah, Patty F saying that Jake Wagner, who pled guilty, didn't testify on camera. Yeah. No. Everybody pleads on, like, everything's on camera. This idea of not doing stuff on camera is nonsense. It should never happen. Aaron with Dog says the Torrance County officer ripping side view mirrors off passing cars. Huh. We might have to fire up YouTube for that real quick, since we're already here. Torrance police officer ripping mirrors. Okay, that's not what shows up right away. First one, it says a former Torrance police officer arrested for child porn. And then it says 2 former Torrance police officers charged after printing a swastika on the back of a car. So, maybe not the same thing we're talking about. Maybe YouTube doesn't have it yet. Torrance County officers. Yeah, I don't see that yet. What do I think about all the Twitter heads being fired? It's not enough. It's a good start. I don't really care though. I want back in, Daddy Elon. Let me out of the gulag, baby. Let me loose on the streets again. I don't think he's going to though, but that's what I want. I want to be like in Batman when Bane lets all the guys out of prison and gives them guns. That's what it needs to look like. Must means to go out there and be like, this Twitter, it is yours now. Take it. That's what I want. Oh, Judge Doro. Okay, was pregnant. I got you now. Jacob Castro says the judge is having Darrell's baby. Oh. Bean Copium says, I identify as preg. I'm not, but I want all the benefits. I'm preg. Do you think Elon will get rid of bots? I hope so. It'll be hilarious. Critter says, yeah, he has to have a hearing before anyone else who opts out can testify, but he said he wouldn't do it. And I think that's wrong. There shouldn't even be a debate about it. Sorry, you're testifying. Sorry, the camera's on. Deal with it. There's a fake you on Twitter, I think. Yeah, there might be. I can neither confirm nor deny. What did you say that got you banned on Twitter? A lot of things. A couple different things. And the last thing wasn't that bad. Really, it wasn't. Mike L says Elon needs to understand there's mayhem to be spread. Mayhem and disorder. Nightbringer Tenchi says we need Alex Jones and Donald Trump back. Yes, we do. So, Aussie Overlord, Hayden, what's up, man? I identify as a pregnant lesbian trapped in a man's body. Give me all the privilege with nothing in my life changing. I think we can arrange that. Cop walks into traffic. Cop smashes people in mirrors. I'll try that real quick. See if that shows up. Then we'll get right into it. Oh, yeah. No, I see it now. Yeah, I see James Freeman has it. I'm going to try to figure... We may have to do this on a different day when I could find a new video of it that's not all talked over. But yeah, guys, if you have not been to Aussie Overlord's page, you definitely should. Give him a like. Hayden's a very good guy. Does a very good show. I think he's on like 5 o'clock our time every day in the afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern. Covers a lot of great things. And if you've been going along the trial with Nick over on Rumble, you've probably seen him a couple times in the past week or two. So give him a view. You might like what you see there, and give him a subscribe. Taking off like a rocket ship. Dogecoin's not going to the moon. Aussie Overlords, off their monde. Wow, you guys are like going way too fast here. Did I watch the Oklahoma axe murder video from last week? Video of somebody getting chopped with an axe? No, I've not seen that. And that sounds very entertaining. We may have to wait a little bit because YouTube is apparently zombie striking people for violence. But if somebody's getting done with an axe, I'm sure they'll come after me for that one. But I'll take a look at it. I'll just put that in right now so I know where it's at. Oklahoma axe murder. Okay. Well, let's get to it, though. We've got the fun stuff done. Now the serious business, Darrell Brooks. Guys, I know we've been watching it. We're not going to talk about it too much more, but in case you missed it, Darrell Brooks rested his case on Monday. As a defendant, he did not testify. Really blew my mind given how narcissistic he is. And then they had their closing arguments, and his closing argument was just awful. He was able to get away with talking to the jury about nullification about 4 or 5 times, and sadly, they did not nullify him. That brave free man on the land was wrongfully convicted, I think. I'm just kidding. He got what he deserved. Convicted on all counts So he got a perfect score, probably for the first time ever in his life. Went. So, anyways, congratulations, Darrell. There's a conference hearing on Monday afternoon, I believe 1 p.m. Central Time. It'll be 2 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, if I'm available, I'll try to cover it. What's going to happen there? Well, they are going to set the date for sentencing, and that will be sometime probably within a month or so, I assume. Probably not too much sooner, because remember, if they try to do it any sooner, you run right into the holidays. So I bet it'll be done the week after Thanksgiving, first week in December, probably. So, and if you guys do have questions about what happened, there's been a million videos on it. I've done a bunch. I've done a bunch of streams. Everybody else has done something about it. So, but for right now, there's a lot out there. If you don't know about it, um, just start watching. You'll find something good. Fernando says Joe Biden has said he will pardon Brooks. He can't, though. He's been convicted under state law, so the only person who can pardon him is the governor of Wisconsin. And there's no way in hell he's going to do that, because I'm pretty sure he's up for election in a year or two. Joe Biden can't do that. He can only pardon for crimes he has authority over, which are federal offenses. So he may have said that, but I'm sure he was like, pardon. And that's probably how Joe Biden did it. He has no idea what he's saying. Yes, poor math boy, fly. We shall remember him. Steph D says Brooks was playing chicken with the judge on the testifying and lost. I think so. Kyle Bogue says, why bother? We know what his sentence is going to be. Seems like a ridiculous waste of time. Yeah, but he's got sentenced. He's going to be sentenced on all the other crimes, and every witness has the right to, or every victim has the right to be heard. So they have those rights, and you can't just take them away. As much as you just like to see him be gone, he gets one more last stand to make an ass of himself. Eliza Krogan says Brooks' mother making all sorts of excuses. Yeah, but your mom would probably make excuses for you too. Maybe not as much as his mom, but I mean, everybody's mom. It's your mom. She's got your back till the end. She's your mom. So, yeah, Dwayne Mansell, you're correct. Law Nerd Clips has a lot on Darrell Brooks. So if you guys go to Law Nerd Clips, you can break down a lot of things that have happened, and we can watch it. Graham says Evers is up for election now. Oh, well, that'll be interesting. I haven't seen any jury interviews yet. Neither have I. So I don't know if there will be any. Bifron says he's facing close to 1,000 years. Yeah, he's facing a ton of time. He's not getting out anytime soon. He's got 6 back-to-back life without parole sentences to get through first. And then another couple hundred years. Which, I'm sure he'll be like, I could do that standing on my head. Hayden saying, your thoughts on Assange's chances of surviving in a CIA black site? Watch his lawyer address the Aussie Press Club. She's pretty much given up on legal intervention. Yeah, it's not looking good for Assange. I don't think they'll be able to kill him until his trial's over, though. I mean, it's going to be a little too sus if they do it in the meantime. And I've still got to finish my Assange things. I got a big Assange thing I was trying to put together before he hit the shores of the U.S. But yeah, I don't think it's looking good for him. All right, guys. So what was the next thing on our list tonight? Oh, in Arizona, the ballot box vigilantes. So in Arizona, they are doing drop box voting, which, if you guys remember from the last time this was going on during COVID, you can go up to a ballot box that's put out on a curb and throw your ballots in. Not very secure. And certainly it doesn't look normal. Well, and it looks like a box like one of these. It's an envelope drop box. I'm not sure what that says in Espanol, but there it is. And a federal judge in Arizona is being forced to make a ruling because people are showing up at the drop boxes. Well, they're I guess you could say they are fortifying the election to ensure election integrity. Um, they look fairly based, in my opinion, and they are showing up at ballot box locations and just sitting there watching. At some places, they have people sitting there with cameras on tripods, and they're taking pictures, filming, doing all kinds of stuff. I thought sunlight is a great disinfectant and all, and these people took it to heart. But voters' rights groups, quote unquote, have filed to seek an injunction to have that stopped. Makes your noggin wonder what's really going on or what do they really want. They think this apparently scares people. Well, if you've got only one ballot, I'm not sure what's the problem. But the groups are the Arizona Alliance for Retired Americans and then Voto Latino, which kind of interesting because you can't vote in Spanish. And they asked the district judge there to prevent members of Clean Elections USA from gathering with inside of drop boxes in Maricopa County, the state's most populous county. It's where Phoenix is. And for following voters and taking photos and videos of them in their cars. I mean, it's in public. I don't know what you want them to do. I guess you can go to an election building and go vote the right way and the normal way, and then nobody will know you're in there. Huh. I mean, it's just something to think about. It's just me. Just me. What do I know? I agree, Dwayne. They are not vigilantes. They're just watching. They're just checking in, fortifying that election. Anti-Semitic Elmo says it says card for a deposit. Okay. Scud X the ballot bruisers. Valhalla 08 says, how old am I? I am 37. Getting back to this though. Oh, fucking ads. So the attorney for Clean Elections says that a restraining order will be unconstitutional. And the judge is hopefully going to give a decision by Friday, but he might wait till the weekend. The League of Women Voters filed a suit claiming this is intimidating voters. I mean, if you've got nothing to hide and you're not doing anything sketchy, you could just go vote. No problems, I guess. But the groups are called the Lines for Liberty and the Yavapai County Preparedness Team. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're prepared for a lot of things. So that's those are the groups you should be scared of. The groups with the most mundane names ever are the ones that usually can do something impressive. Like Delta Force is known as the Combat Applications Group. Sounds pretty boring. The Yavapai County Preparedness Team. I like that. I like that. But oh no, guys, they're known to be next to the Oath Keepers. Oh no. And they believe that people are stuffing the boxes. So, hey, let's just make sure nobody is. But the neat part is about this amid the complaints from voters who said they've been harassed, the sheriff has decided to provide security around the drop boxes. Gee, why weren't they doing that already? Hey, it's a ballot box. Let's make sure nobody fucks with it. Because, I mean, it just sits there all night. Well, now the government's protecting it, which I'm not sure how you feel about the government protecting it, but at least they're there now. So, but yes, two masked men carrying guns and wearing vests showed up at a drop box, which they have every right to do. Apparently, somebody sent a threatening email to the state elections director. I'm not sure that's true. Let's see here. Regardless of intent, this type of misguided behavior is both contrary to law and values of our state. Making sure people don't fuck with an election box, I think, actually does go with your, values of your state. But no, like again, what do I know? What do I know? Bald Eagle Jerk says intimidation. Yep. Monad said when Amagansett Press filmed the ballot box drop in Denver, Yeah, left-wing. Yes, yes, I remember this. Yes. Zero Signal says, I don't get the drop boxes. You can drop them in a mailbox. But see, apparently, old people and poor people and minorities are too stupid to figure that out. So you have to make them go drop it in a special box because they just can't plumb figure it out. I mean, because they're too stupid to get IDs and whatever reason they can't get an ID. Julie Delficki says someone's going to get out of the car and start something with them. Why would you? Why would you fight somebody who's just being an election observer? That sounds kind of fashy to me. Jim is saying this judge would completely violate the prior restraint prohibition of the First Amendment if he orders him to stay away. Yeah, I don't think he has any right to do so, and I don't think he will. Even Attorney Tom is taller than Brooks, you guys. That's not nice to Darrell. He's clearly taller than Attorney Tom. Yes, mean copium, yes. Hooray! You took a picture of me casting a secret ballot. Hooray! You know, I take a picture of my ballot every time I vote, and I love putting it on Facebook every time. Why? Because I'm not afraid to tell you who I vote for, but you have that right, and I have the right to tell everybody who I voted for, and you have the right to keep it secret. And that's one of the beautiful things about America. It has the right not to vote at all. The Oak Keepers. Eric Foams. What's in the box? The Pike says we have pre-stuffed boxes in PA. You might. Apparently, it's going to take a really long time to count. I guess it's really hard for you guys in Pennsylvania to count. But honestly, guys, hey, nothing wrong with fortifying the election. Let's fortify in all ways possible. I think it's election integrity is critical and transparency is critical in all elections. That's why I support the efforts of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to protect these boxes now that civilians have brought it to their attention that they were left unprotected. And see, this is how it works, the circle of life. Just like Mufasa said, then we die and become the grass, and they eat the grass. Sheeple Hunter says, I'm in PA, hate me more. Now, I mean, if you live in Pittsburgh and you're a Yinzer, I consider you some of the lowest forms of human life on this earth. Like the people in Pittsburgh, the Yinzers, you guys are like a branch off of the tree. You're like Denisovian, man. You definitely are not. You're not a Homo sapien. You're just Homo erectus. I don't know how you people made it this long in life. Ruger 9x18 says the guy filling them out in PA had a stroke. Give him a minute. Yeah. So yes, last night I think it was. Actually, was it last night or the night before? Watched a little bit of the PA debate with Farron and Valiant Renegade. Very interesting. God, if they elect Fetterman, they're screwed. But if they elect Oz, they're screwed. They're both cringe. Yes, Aplexity says the Yinzers are the lowest on the evolutionary tree. Yes, they are. All right. Well, that is that one. Now, next is Kim Potter. You guys may remember her from attempting to tase Dante Wright and instead putting a hole in him, which I still think was deserved. And she had legal right to use force given what was happening to her buddies, and he was about to drag him. Because remember, guys, one of the biggest rules in life is when the police say you're under arrest, you're under arrest. Even if you don't like it, even if it may be illegal and wrong, you're under arrest. If it's illegal and wrong, okay, great. You'll be able to buy your Ferrari later. Just take your pinch like a man. That's the best advice I can give you. But apparently Kim has a cousin in Florida who's also a police officer. And she had an oopsie mistake today, too. Or a couple days ago. And let's see what happened to her. Okay. This is in Port St. Lucie, Florida, by the way. So let's get to this and see what happens. And I hope YouTube doesn't give me crap for this. But if they do, oh well.
Come here. Please stand up for me. Don't do that. Don't let go.
I didn't do what they're saying I did, please.
Okay, but it's okay. I believe you.
Now, at this point, the guy's threatening to commit suicide, although the bridge isn't that high, but he's still going to hurt himself really bad. So she's trying to talk him off, and she has every right to do that. She has every right to approach this guy and talk to him. So far, everything's fine.
I'm here with you. Don't let go. Hey, I'm here. You're not alone. I'm here. Don't let go. Please don't let go. Please stop. Please stop.
Which, yes, as you can see, that exactly wasn't the... I kind of lean over with her. That's not exactly the biggest drop in the world. So I'm sure he landed on the grass and sand.
Do you see what he has in his hand? Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Now, the black boxes are other officers. In Florida, the way their victims' rights laws are set up, apparently police can claim they're a victim, and they can shield themselves from disclosure from public records request in these types of situations, at least for a little while during a situation. That's clearly not what the law's meant for, but the police abuse it down there. So that's why you see a big black bar from that officer. And then when his camera's on, you'll see his camera. This officer will turn into one that's got a black bar on her. And as I talked about with the Trump search warrant, the black bars of transparency. Aren't they amazing? Who is she chasing? She's chasing that guy that was hanging off the bridge. She was chasing the guy that was hanging off the bridge. So, guys, no, she's not really related to Kim Potter. I was just making the joke. It's her cousin that she'll make a mistake too. That was the joke. Carlos, did I ever check if it was just COVID or a cold? I think it was kind of like a really overnight flu because it was just bad today. This morning was awful, but I'm better now. Seeing where you guys, geez, you guys are catching up. You guys will. I'm not going to spoil it. You guys have to see what happens. You guys have to see what happens. You guys have to see what happens. No, I don't have COVID. Oh my God. You guys are being nonsense. All right, let's finish this up.
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down!
Roll over! Roll over!
Get on your back! Roll over on your stomach! Do it now!
They are tasing the crap out of him.
Stay down!
Apparently, we're having a little trouble with our handcuffs there.
Back up! Drive your taser back up!
Yeah, you saw that right. This isn't...
Back up! Drive your taser back up!
So she already knows, grab your taser, back up. This isn't one of those times where Rashad Brooks, where he grabbed the taser, turned around, started shooting it at the police, and then they dusted him. Or we'll get to him in Michigan when the cop was claiming, well, the guy was on top of my taser and I wrestled it away. I thought he had it. She clearly knows he doesn't have the taser. So he's not armed with the weapon. And at this point, all this guy has done so far is threaten to commit suicide, drop off the edge of a bridge, and then is running down the street like a lunatic. He doesn't have weapons. Is he a violent threat to anybody? No. Does he present a danger to anybody? Maybe, possibly. But serious bodily harm or imminent death? No. And she doesn't talk about using a taser, not deploying it. So she claims this is a mistake, but I don't know. And that's why I don't think it was a mistake. Because if you watch here, she claims it was a mistake, but bang, she shoots. And then if you see that right there, she shoots, puts her gun away, and then grabs her taser. You know, that, to me, that seems like that was a little more, she shot the guy because she thought she could. And I don't like the fact that her taser's on the same draw hand as her pistol. Should probably be on the other side, so that way you can only do one at a time. But what do I know? I'm just a cop, and I'm not a cop, and I don't think it's right to shoot people like that. So, yes, Wrestler Town, you're right. She had the taser out, put it back, pulled out a gun on accident, fired a shot, then got the taser out again. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So we'll get to what happens to the rest of this here. Here's a view from the other cop. I mean, they tased him hard.
Stay on the ground.
I mean, they tased the shit out of him.
Roll over. Roll over.
Get on your back.
Roll over.
Roll over onto your stomach. Do it now.
I don't know why they didn't just keep one of them keep their hands on the taser and just keep it ready to go. Instead, they screwed around and the guy got the prongs out. Like, good job. Mighty fine police work there. Yeah, yo, chill out. You shot the guy. Chill out. So he got shot in the leg. He survived.
Oh my god.
You're good.
No, I'm not. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god. Maybe this isn't the job for you, baby. But yes, the guy's going to survive, and she was interviewed. They determined she made a mistake, but it was accidental. She's not getting charged. I mean, that's worse than Kim Potter because she had the taser out, then put it away, as Wrestler Town said, and put the gun out, bang, and then put the gun away and pulled the taser out again. I don't think you can, yeah. Charles Watts says, it's actually taser, bang. Yes. Valhalla Wait says, attempted suicide is an arrestable offense. I'm not saying that was wrong. They have every right to detain him and try to protect him. And at this point, yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. I'm saying the fact she shot the guy is not acceptable. Yeah, he's a 5150 candidate, Baker Act, whatever you want to call it. Yes, definitely. And maybe that's meth-fueled psychosis, or maybe it's just he slipped a gear finally. We'll never know. Yep, she shot him in the leg. Mr. Squiggle says she was just trying to lower his HP. Sean is a cop? No. Be the worst cop ever. I let so much crap go slide. Bald Eagle Jerk, a whomming cop. Sister Fister says, Sean, you're the man, but this analysis is garbage. I mean, what do you want me to say here? This idea, I mean, she can argue I made a mistake, but it just doesn't she immediately realizes, oh crap, I pulled out a gun. I don't know. I mean, it looks very weird the way she set up. Why is her taser on the same like hand side? Even though it's cross draw, it's still with her right hand. Why does she think pulling out a firearm is necessary to engage this guy? He's not a fleeing felon. Graham v. Connor, certainly, this is not that guy. He's not the axe murderer running around and just killed 2 people with his bloody axe to the neighborhood. He's not a threat to anybody. He's running down the road. You don't have the right to shoot. I just don't buy that this is an accident. I think she panicked. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean she didn't mess up or like, I'm not saying she should go to prison, but I don't know if she should be a cop. That's a little concerning. And maybe she didn't panic. Maybe she thought that this was necessary. I don't know. I just can't trust it. I just don't think that's 100% right, given what she did. And unlike Kim Potter, there was, Kim Potter, I think, was justified either way. Even if she was wrong, shooting the guy with a gun as he's about to drag her buddies down the road is lethal force, and she has the right to use lethal force in kind. So I still think Kim Potter was justified in her shooting. This one wasn't. Is he okay? Yeah, he will survive. Why was he running away? Because the guy's going through like a metal break. He was trying to jump off a bridge. So, I mean, because the guy lost his mind. Reality says, how could he have been able to still get up after and run after being tased? I mean, it's not a forever and permanently crippling thing to get tased. It's once the electricity's off, you can get back up. You might need some help getting up, but also think about it. If you're high on adrenaline and who knows what that guy was going through? Maybe it was a schizophrenic issue, some like drugs, whatever it is. Something went on in his life where he's just completely lost it. And he's panicking and flipping out and wigging out hard. He's wired up like 1,000%. So tasing him stops him temporarily, but he's ready to go and keep going. So that's not uncommon. I mean, if you don't want to be stopped, it takes a lot to stop people. Whether it's a taser, a baton, a gun, unless you hit something critical or you hit somebody and break their leg, it's very hard to stop somebody who does not want to give up. There's a couple of super chats here. Pope Records touching me for $2 says, support women's tennis. Angelina Demova, hard work. She really like a tennis player or like quote unquote tennis player? Poke Rackets touched me for $2 also says, you guys are wrong. The problem is the XX lower standards. Yeah. Oh, Critter, if you've left, I hope you feel better. Branka would call that a good shoot. I mean, if she can truly, and if she says, so here's the thing. If she says, I had an accident, I grabbed the wrong gun. Okay, yes, mistake. That's a mistake. Fine. If it really is truly a mistake, then yeah, she's good to go. I just don't know if I buy it as a mistake, but yes, if she says it's a mistake, could I go into court and make that argument for her every day of the week? Yes. And I think given what that video shows, a jury's going to have to say, okay, fine, it was a mistake. Do I think this lady should still be a cop at the very least? No. Do I think they should charge her? I don't know, but at the very least, like I said, she should not be a cop. Let's see here. You guys are... Can he sue Duncan 8? Yeah, he could try to file a lawsuit under 1983 claiming excessive force. And certainly that is excessive force. She might have qualified immunity here. But I don't know how that'll work because if she's claiming it's an accident, there's going to be, I don't know what their circuit looks. I don't know what the 11th Circuit looks like in regards to qualified immunity when the officer claims unintentional acts. when the officer committed an unintentional act that injured the party. So I don't know how that would turn out. No, it wasn't two female officers at first. The woman who shot, the officer shot was female. The other one was a guy. Me Tornado says, "What did you want her to do? Let him go?" No, they have every right to try to apprehend him. You just don't get to shoot him. Keep tasing him, do something, but just because nothing's working, you don't automatically get to go to, well, fuck it, we can shoot him and stop him. You still have to, is he a threat to anybody, a true threat to anybody? I mean, in what way is he a threat? Because you have to establish that. To establish the use of lethal force, is he causing somebody serious bodily harm or imminent death? Or is it possible he could do it? Him just running down the road, he's not Iron Man. Running into him is not going to blow your car up. And you have to articulate that. Otherwise, every crazy person could be shot. And I don't think that's the right standard either. So, once again, you have to show that threat. Use your taser. You may have to chase him for a while. Somebody may have to pull out the shotgun with rubber bullets and hurt him severely. I don't know what you'll do, but something other than shooting this guy. Dwayne Mansell says, I think Bronk has a blue line tattooed across his ass. He doesn't, though. Bronca's job is the law of self-defense. Obviously, he has to, and when he talks, he says, how would this be self-defense? He doesn't say it's a valid theory. He doesn't say it's likely to succeed. All he does is point out, and I think it's fair, how would you defend this? What can you argue? In this case, I don't think you can argue self-defense. There were no third parties at harm. Society was not at risk because remember, police have that element for Graham v. Connor. Yes, can they shoot a fleeing felon? Yes, but they have to meet the requirements. In this case, there were none. So she's left with now to what would you claim? Mistake. Okay, I had an oopsie poopsie. Apparently in Florida, they're buying that given what she stated. I just looking at it, I don't know. But if she says it's a mistake, fine. It's a mistake. I don't agree with that, but that's what she said, and everybody agrees. Okay, it's a mistake. But no, he doesn't. He doesn't. His job is just to point out, how would you defend this? And when the cops commit in something and they get charged with it, well, great. Now they are defendants. JC says, once you pull out a weapon, things change. The threat level, death. He had no weapon, though. So, what weapon did he have? Wrestler Town. Says there are 50 of that guy every square acre in Florida. It's weird the police even reacted at all. Yeah, put brackets. I was just trying to read through them for a bit. I caught up to you. God, I got to catch up to you guys. You guys are going way too damn fast tonight. Oh, we got porn bots in here. Great. Null says the description has more information. He whipped out a knife, but that was way before the shooting, and he wasn't an imminent threat to anyone else. Yeah, if he hasn't pulled it out at that point, he may have earlier, but I've said it before. Self-defense and the justifications for it, it's like the windmill at the putt-putt course. You know, it comes and goes. Like you're blocked and then you can. You're blocked and then you can. It's always changing. And I just don't think at that point, because if she really thought he was worried, she's like okay, he had a knife. Well, she's like walking up to him, trying to grab him, help pull him off the ledge. I mean, if he had a knife, she wouldn't be doing that. So I don't know if she knew that truly at that time or that's information that came later. Did I see Brooks's mama on the TV today? No. No, I know she said he's a good boy, but hey, once again, your mom would do that too, probably. I mean, I think my mom would, I hope. She wouldn't just be like, no, my son's a retard. Okay. Ethan Crumbley, the shooter in Michigan from last year, pled guilty this week. And if you guys remember, his mom and stepdad are currently facing counts of involuntary manslaughter for being involved and supplying him with the firearm. Now, I think this case is going to be junk. I think the allegations are bullshit. They didn't actually do anything. Now, yes, do I think getting a 16-year-old a brand new 6 Sauer is a bit much? Yeah, but you know what they did? The best thing, I mean, the thing they're guilty of is just being crappy parents, because it does sound like from the first preliminary hearing, mom just ignored all the things going on in her kid's life and liked to play with her horses. But you know what? There's shitty parents everywhere. I just got done doing a case I was a guardian ad litem on. And it was a horrible parents having their kids in a bad situation, so bad that the county had to get involved. But that's how life goes. But Ethan did plea out, and we can watch his plea a little bit here. It's interesting. The judge does go through a plea colloquy, which if you haven't ever seen one before, this is what they look like. The judge goes over with him his constitutional rights, and then they will talk about what he did. Make women great. I'll look her up when I got a second right now while this is playing, guys. So give me 1 second here. Your mom thinks I'm the Stabby says your mom thinks I'm the best boy. Well, you should be honored because my mom's a hell of a woman. All right, so let's watch this real quick. I think it is interesting. And I don't think anything has been promised. He has entered a plea to accept responsibility. No promises have been made, and very likely I could see them forcing him to testify against his mom, should she go to trial.
And this is the plea form that covers all of your rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
And did you have an opportunity to sign this form?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And this form goes over all of your rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to cover your rights with you here in court. Sir, if your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind, and you'll be given up the following rights: the right to be tried by a jury, and throughout the trial, the right to be presumed innocent unless the prosecutor proves your guilt beyond reasonable doubt. You'll be given up the right to have witnesses against you appear at the trial and to question witnesses against you. You'll also be given up the right to have the court order any witnesses you have to appear at the trial, and you will be given up your right to remain silent during the trial and the right to not have that silence used against you during the trial. On the other hand, you could testify at trial if you wanted to testify. If your plea is accepted, then you'll be given up any claim that the plea was the result of promises or threats that were not disclosed on the record, or that the plea was not of your own choice. Additionally, if your plea is accepted, you may be given up the right to appeal issues that would be otherwise appealable if you were convicted at trial. Any appeal from conviction and sentence pursuant to this plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right. A plea means you have a conviction that may be used against you in the future. If you're on probation or parole, these pleas could affect your status. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Were you born in the United States?
Yes, sir.
I do have to advise you that if you were not born in the United States, that this plea could affect your immigration status. Sir, has anyone promised anything or made threats that has not been stated on the record?
No, sir.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Do you need any more time to talk to your attorneys about any of your rights?
No, sir.
And I will allow the prosecutor to conduct the voir dire. However, I will ask you, sir, did these offenses occur on or about November 30th, 2021 in Oakland County?
Yes, sir.
What city or township?
Oxford.
Thank you. People?
Thank you, Judge. Sir, on that date, November the 30th, 2021, in Oakland County, Michigan, did you bring a 9mm 6-hour handgun and 50 rounds of 9mm ammunition with you to the Oxford High School?
Yes, sir.
Did you keep the gun and ammunition in your backpack with you that day?
Yes.
Is it true that approximately 12:49 p.m. on that day you entered a boys' bathroom in the Oxford High School?
Yes.
Is it true that
I'm
while
sorry. Can you keep your voice up for me?
Yes, sir.
Is it true that while inside the boys' bathroom, in the stall of the bathroom, you removed the handgun from your backpack?
Yes.
Is it true that you ensured that the handgun was loaded?
Yes.
Is it true that you exited the bathroom approximately 12:51 p.m. on November the 30th, 2021?
Yes.
Is it true that when you exited the bathroom, you began shooting at students and staff members of the Oxford High School?
Yes.
Judge, for the specific factual basis, I'm going to do counts 2 through 5 and then count 1.
Please.
Regarding count 2, first-degree murder. Is it true on November the 30th, 2021, while you were in Oxford, County of Oakland, you deliberately, with the intent to kill and with premeditation, use a 9mm handgun and shoot and kill Miss Madison Baldwin?
Yes.
Is it true on November the 30th, 2021, while you were in Oxford, County of Oakland, you did deliberately, with the intent to kill and with premeditation, use a 9mm handgun and shoot and kill Mr. Tate Meyer?
Yes.
Is it true on November the 30th, 2021, while you were in Oxford, County of Oakland, you deliberately, with the intent to kill and with premeditation, did use a 9mm handgun and shoot and kill Miss Hannah St. Julian?
Yes.
Is it true on November the 30th, 2021, while you were in Oxford, County of Oakland, you did deliberately, with the intent to kill and with premeditation, use a 9mm handgun to shoot and kill Mr. Justin Schilling?
Yes.
Could you repeat your answer, sir?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it true that on November the 30th, 2021, when you committed the crimes of first-degree premeditated murder in Oxford County of Oakland, that you acted knowingly, willfully, deliberately, meaning you consider the pros and cons of your actions, then you made the decision, after substantial reflection, to commit first-degree premeditated murder?
Yes.
Is it true that you knew or had reason to know that your choices on November the 30th, 2021, in committing these crimes would cause a substantial likelihood of death or serious injury?
Yes.
Is it true when you committed these crimes, you intended to put students and teachers in fear, and you intended to cause panic among the Oxford High School community?
Yes.
Is it true that your actions on November the 30th, 2021 caused the deaths of Madison Baldwin, Tamir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling?
Yes.
Regarding count 6, is it true that on November the 30th, 2021, you assaulted Miss Phoebe Arthur by shooting her with a 9mm handgun? It was your intention to kill her?
Yes.
Count 7, is it true that on November the 30th, 2021, you assaulted Mr. John Asciutto by shooting him with a 9mm handgun, and was it your intention to kill him?
Yes.
Count 8, is it true that on November the 30th, 2021, you assaulted Miss Molly Darnell by shooting her with a 9mm handgun, and it was your intention to kill her?
Yes.
And that's it goes on like that for a while, guys. But that is stop self-snitching. No, that's part of the plea. The prosecutor's making him not just admit, yes, I did it, but he's having him state with a factual specificity. That way, if he ever tries to claim on an appeal, oh, I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know what I was playing to. You said, they asked you, did you shoot this guy and kill him and intend to kill him? Yes. But he asked that for each one of his victims. Why? Because now he can't say, I didn't really know what I was doing. It wasn't clear to me. I mean, he's saying it with such specificity there. Also, this is also laying the groundwork probably for him to testify against his parents. Rachel, asking about the Pike County Massacre. Yeah, I'll be getting into that probably next week. Like I said, I have a trial that looks like it's not going to go forward. The confidential informant had emergency surgery, it sounds like. So my case is getting continued. I probably will have some time to really delve into what's going on now because we're, like I said, we're at the part where Jake Wagner has testified. And like that's the big thing because all the other people I don't really care about. That's the one. He's the one who said, yeah, we did it. But yes, that's Ethan Crumbley, guys. Yeah, little pencil necked, little kind of weirdo looking kid. I mean, I don't know how many of us. I mean, I'll say this much: I was kind of a weirdo when I was his age. All About the Shade says it said he begged his parents for help. They could have intervened and prevented this. Yeah, and his parents sucked. But that's if being a shitty parent is against the law, we'll run out of prisons very, very fast. And we'll still have a lot of shitty parents left. Fly Fox Pro says more balls than Darrell Brooks. Yeah, at least he's owning up to it. Also, Pope Brackets, I did look up Angelina Domova. Very nice, very nice. But I'm not sure the things I found on Google are not necessarily YouTube would not like. So we'll just leave those alone for now. The parents really messed up. Yeah, they did, but there's a lot of crappy parents out there. How old is that kid? He's 16. and he's looking at a life sentence. So, never getting out is most likely what's going to happen to him. Pope brackets for the $2 again. I just want to make sure it's there. Make women's tennis great again. Angelina Dimova. Yes, I encourage you to Google her. Duncan8 is a new member. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Two L law student says, do I think the rule of lenity should have more power? I mean, the idea that, what's not illegal is allowed, and the idea that any law that's confusing or has contradictory issues should be construed in light most favorable to the defendant and against the state. Yeah, I fully support it. The thing is, we've had so long now with actual statutory law, most of those conflicts have been kind of resolved, and lawmakers have been pretty good about clarifying it once things like that happen. So, for the most part, we don't really have too many laws where there is confusion or laws that don't outline and leave like little bits and pockets of conduct legal. I mean, most of that's been taken care of over the years. But if it does exist, yes, it should be fully sought after and used. Look up her YouTube short video with pink and black shorts. Yeah, I don't need to get a strike. I've already had a strike once before. I'm good. Muralist One says, can he get out in several decades? The Supreme Court ruling about minors in life with no parole. The issue is when you come to minors in life with no parole, they have to have a hearing on that and talk about the issue of him getting parole or not. Almost like a death penalty case. They have to talk about mitigating and aggravating factors. So even the kids that did get rehearings, the court reheard everything and still said, nope, life without parole for quite a few of them. Some of them got modified sentences. And in places like Michigan, I could see the law changing. I mean, there is a trend in America for less and less incarceration. So it's a decarceral trend. I could see him being eligible at some point in the future and being released. I mean, heck, John Hinckley, he tried to kill President Reagan, got released. We covered that maybe 2 months ago. If he can get out, anybody he can get out. Mr. Sister Fisher says, why didn't he build a Fort Grounds? Because his attorneys held all the building materials and they didn't bring it. Randy V says, does his parents running after the incident influence the case? Yes. There are jury instructions, and certainly the prosecutor is going to point out that. And why do I have these on still? I'm not hunting fucking U-boats anymore. That guilt or that flight can be used as circumstantial evidence of guilt. And the argument is that prosecutors would say, innocent people don't run. Except in this situation, you turn on the news and you found out like your kid just played duck hunt in the hallways of his high school, and you were literally just there when it happened. Like you saw your kid, you were in the principal's office, and then you left, and later that day he starts killing everybody. You're like, oh my God, they're going to blame me. I don't necessarily think it was wrong for them to take off. I mean, and then the police said, we're looking for his parents. Are you going to stick around? I don't think a lot of people are. A lot of people might talk a big game, but a lot of people are beating feet. So I don't think it should be, but certainly they're going to use it. And I assume their defense will point out, put yourself in those shoes. Are you just going to stand there? The community wants your blood. Everybody's going to run away. Eric Foam says, I wonder if they dropped off the gun to Ethan. No, it's from what we understand, he had the gun with him the whole day. And the school, for being so scared of this kid, never had the police search his backpack. They never searched it. Yet he was so dangerous, and they just sat there. I mean, criminal levels of negligence by the school. Yes, we're talking about the Crumbleys. Rachel Mills said, I would say yes, I would stay. The Columbine parents didn't flee. Yeah, the Columbine parents, remember, that was like the first time that had ever happened, really. The Cleveland and Harris doing what they did, and it wasn't clear right away that second what was going on in the schools. I mean, these guys found out pretty quickly this was happening. And I think it'd be a little different if Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold's parents had just gotten the principal's office saying, your kid is dangerous. We think he's going to kill people. You need to do something about it. And then you get home and later in the day, you find out, oh, wow, they really did kill people. Kaiju Spirit, super chat for $10. Thank you for the support. I don't think I've seen you around, so thank you for being here. Welcome. Choose your alternate reality. Choose your reality. Rittenhouse defends himself as a sovereign citizen in front of Judge Doro. Or Darrell Brooks gets prosecuted by Binger in front of Judge Borowski. I'd still got to go with Darrell Brooks getting prosecuted by Binger in front of Judge Borowski. Why? Well, because I think Borowski will go after Darrell Brooks and Binger. He'll hate them both. And Borowski will probably comment at some point, I wish I could put you in prison with him. Truck Golfer says, what percentage of people know their rights when it comes to talking with the cops when they start investigating crimes? Well, a lot of people know they have the right to remain silent. And you could ask them, like, do you know you have the right to remain silent? Yeah, and you don't have to talk to police? Yes. But do people know that and remember it when the police start talking to them? That's the issue. No. But it's just like anything in life. You have to learn that knowledge and keep it in your head. It's just like pilots. If you guys have ever watched the movie Sully with Tom Hanks in it, when they are flying that plane and they hit all those birds, what do they do immediately? They lost power. They run through a checklist. That checklist is rehearsed. It's drilled into their head. They know it forwards and backwards. Okay, run through checklist 1. It doesn't work. Checklist 2, checklist 3, checklist 4. That's not all working. Move on to this A, B, C, D, E, F. And while he's doing that, you're doing X, Y, and Z. That's, you have to have this stuff drilled in your head to the extent of, if the police interview me, I'm shutting up and not saying anything. I want a lawyer. You have to think about it. Now, there's not really ways you drill that in your head by getting interviewed by the cops as a practice, but you just have to think about it and make the mental notes and prepare yourself for it. What would I do in these situations? So when you see these videos I'm playing where people are talking to the cops, you'd say, I would immediately say, no, I want my attorney. I'm not saying anything. That's, I think, how you would mentally prepare. Since he pled, can he be called to testify against his parents? Sure. Definitely. Kaiju Spirit said that might have been too easy. Just a little bit. Pope Brackets Touch Me says, with B. Ivory Lamar's counsel. Oh, yeah. B. Ivory Lamar and Binger and Borowski in a room. Oh, my gosh. Borowski's probably jumping out the window. Oh, Ag Biochemist is saying, Nick has more fan mail tonight. Goody, goody, goody. Guys, tune in on Rumble. I think it'll be good. I will definitely be watching. Wow. Also, 295 people here, guys. Thank you for being around. To a law student. I think that's how you want me to go by addressing you. Do you think the Supreme Court will ever get rid of the exclusionary rule? No. One thing the Supreme Court loves to do, especially conservative justices, and to be fair, this has been something that's been going on since 1925, and you can go back to Carroll v. United States. Take the Fourth Amendment, we just go snip, 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 snip off the top. Just like when you're getting your hair done. They go up and they take your hair up like this, and they go snip, 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 snip. Take up a little bit more, snip, 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 snip. Then after a while, you look like Homer Simpson. So no, that's not going to keep happening. And yes, Chili, if you're watching this after I called you out, yes, Carroll is a very pivotal point in the erosion of the Fourth Amendment. But I still think you're a dumb fuck. Cops are not your friends. Yes. Tweety, he got fan mail? Yeah, it sounds like he got some bar stuff probably again, if I had to guess. Oh, I got it. Yes. LOL. Let's see here. Oh, somebody already in his locals figured out the fan mail is check locals. Okay, that's one way to do it. Okay, let's see. Did I hear about the sheriff in Montana catching an ATF agent and Canadian Mountie recording and taking pictures of people at a gun show? No, but that's not surprising. And yes, if you guys go to a gun show, you should presume you are being surveilled by federal agents and police. Why? Because they're all corrupt scumbags. If you go to a gun store, you should presume you're being surveilled. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Go get your stuff, pick up your tools. Because remember, they still got to come get them. And they can have all the intelligence in the world. They still got to come through your front door. You know, as Alec Baldwin said in Glengarry Glen Ross, it takes a set of balls to take another man's money. It takes a set of balls to take another man's gun. Pope Racket says, yes, conservatives and Sims fucked freedom away. Yes. Me Tornado says, no, you. No, you. Jim Satala says they'd be more likely to overturn Marbury than get rid of the exclusionary rule. Don't you get my hopes up like that. I would love to see them do that. That won't ever happen either. Oh. Dwayne, yes, I know you like your caps. I'm sure your boomer keyboard's working great. Yes, there's always glowies at the gun shows. I still think the people selling Beanie Babies and the beef jerky are informants as well. Matt Christensen did a video on that gun show thing. I'll take a look at it. Mr. Sister Fister says, gear up for the big... It's not the big igloo. It's the Burlington Coat Factory holiday party. Alexandra Loves Goat says, how about buying recreational pot when you live in a non-legal state? Assume you're being followed. I mean, I can't... Okay, guys, I can't encourage you to go commit crimes. But yes, if you're going to go do something illegal, you should have a plan to determine whether or not the police are surveilling you or have observed you committing the crime. I mean, yes, you getting caught helps me as a business model. But in reality, yes, if you're going to commit a crime, you should really learn like surveillance and counter surveillance. If it's something stupid, probably not. But if you're going to go do some like serious stuff, yeah, you should figure out like, gee, is that car following me full of cops? Maybe I shouldn't go do it. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. I mean, yes, just don't do it. But if you're going to do it, I mean, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So if you're going to go out and do gangster stuff, do a good job at it. Any president with half a sack can overturn Marbury by just saying so. Yeah, well, I think any Congress worth saying so can repeal the Judiciary Act and destroy the federal court system if they wanted to. But they ain't going to do that. There's a better chance you would get vending machines with grenade launchers in them before that would happen. And I'd settle for that too. And leave your phone at home. Yes. Don't take your free GPS tattler with you. Yes, Eric Foam says it best. The streets is watching. They're always watching. And as the great Wu-Tang Clan said, protect your neck. Jim, I agree with you. That's why if you're going to, you're right. You're being surveilled all the time. That's why if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. There are ways around a lot of things. It just requires work and it requires effort, and requires knowledge. But if you really want to go dark, you can go dark to an extent and enough. Just saying. Hack Biochemist says, every time I use Zoom, I wave to the spy feds. Boomher says, how to break the law stream. See, I'm not telling you how to break the law, or like when I would meet with clients and questionable things are being talked about, like, using a Mylar bag that kind of defeats all the signals that come out, making sure the phones are in different rooms at the very least. How do you disable like GPS in a car, all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that, but you can find all that out somewhere. And there's something to be said about older cars too. I mean, you could also read like a book called Fry the Brain by Brian West. Talks about like how the an IRA active service unit is put together. Just saying, there's layers to it, layers to being a gray man. I'd settle for grenade launcher vent. Well, I mean, yes. Well, are you saying you want vending machines full of grenade launchers, or do you want like a vending machine with a grenade launcher attached to it? Both of those could be a lot of fun. Like you go into you're in a truck, you're at a rest stop somewhere, and there's a grenade launcher like chained up to it. You can just start shooting at things. That would be neat. Or you can put your money in the vending machine and you can get a grenade launcher. I'm not sure because this is a little vague, but either way sounds fun. Yes, Chandler Hollerson bought his phone everywhere. It's Murder 101 stuff, yeah. Give you a tutorial? No, I'm not giving a tutorial. I probably would get in trouble for that. Darcy said, have you ever broken down the Waco biker case? No, and that's an interesting one. They charged them all with all kinds of criminal things, and then they had to release them all, except for the ones they killed. Yeah, no, that one actually is a good one to go back through. Is this your version of the Hush Hush stream? No. But, I don't know. I mean, hell. Let me pull up, let me see here. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for asking this, but... Uh-oh. Where is... Oh, here we go. Okay. Locals. All right, here's a locals question we're gonna put up. Would you guys be interested in a fieldcraft stream with subject matter experts? Yes or no? Let me know. We still might fuck around with it anyway, but I'm just curious to know. The next logical step would be taking care of those towers that tattle. Sure, Fox says, help me tilt this vending machine. What states am I licensed in? Alexandra asked. Only Ohio. For now. Who knows if that'll change. Keep asking my girlfriend. She wants to move somewhere and force me to get a new license somewhere where it's nice and warm. Jim is saying the best way to get under the radar is create a program that comments on YouTube videos. So you could say you were commenting on my stream. You're like, oh shit, I already tipped my hand. Yes. Oh. Belandra says, all I can think of with the vending machines are those ones in Japan that sell used panties. Yes. And I'm not, guys, he's not joking. That is a real thing. You can buy used women's panties out of vending machines in Japan. I think we were a little too rough on them with the second atomic bomb. We hurt too many. We ruined them too much. The tentacle porn in this, just, oh no. Is fieldcraft like bushcraft? Are you teaching me how to set up a lean-to? No, how you operate and How you'd operate against surveillance groups. Glitter Fart says, I mean, but it depends who's on the panel. Well, I would try to reach out to some people. I might have some people I could reach out to. But fieldcraft, guys, is, you know, how you operate, how you would kind of like spycraft, how you handle things, how you would operate in a setting while you're out in the field, while you're not in home base, basically. How would you do surveillance, counter surveillance, all that kind of fun stuff. Post-traumatic. Ohio does not suck. Ohio does not suck. Just stay logged in on a game. Born and raised in Ohio, yes. Dwayne says, come to Texas and we'll ship on civil law back. My Espanol is not very good. I wouldn't do well in Texas. They always cry in their porn. Oh. Dressler Town says Japan is an island. Tentacle porn was always going to happen. Maybe. You never know. Pike says blame MacArthur for Japan's fetishes. Chaucerian Fraud says Ninja Craft. No, we're not going to do. It's not going to be like Ninja Turtles and be like Ninja Vanish. Yes, Senor Spielbergo. Yes, Cleveland is not Detroit. Don Mossy, Ohio sucks. No, it does not. Tweety says the Ohio State University makes Ohio suck. I fully agree with that. Yes. Yes, maybe I can invite John Bolton on. He could teach us how to overthrow a country. Nero says, come to Florida. No, you guys can't open carry. Screw that. Okay, so Isaac Baruch's Wholesome Gabagolar. This last question, then we're going to tackle one more story. Okay. Would you rather be you with the gray hair or be bald as fuck like I am with a touch of the gray? I'd rather I like this. I like the hair. Now, if you would have asked me when I was 20, I would have said sure I'd rather have been bald because this gray hair was not. I did not have a ton of. I had some gray hair, but I had so much black hair, it just looked crappy. It didn't look good. It took a long time for this hair to not look like this. I'm glad it's this way now. It's probably in the past, since I've been 30, really, it's been good. Before that, it was just, I didn't like it at all. So there's one more thing. There's one more thing I did want to touch on. And I thought, while we're talking about people doing some sketchy things, I think this one is, well, it should be rewarded. This guy should be known for what he did because this is not easy. So in Spain, he got busted for etching notes on his pens during an exam. So at the University of Malaga in Spain, he confiscated the pens that a student brought in. Now, this is probably part of the issue. He brought in 11 pens. Dude, you can't take all of your notes. You got to put the most critical stuff you don't know on. You got to put them on a couple. Remember, guys, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. All right? Keep that in mind if you're pushing the rules somewhere. So they were taken, apparently they were from a few years ago during an exam on criminal procedure, and the professor found them when she was tidying up her office. The guy had to repeat his entire course. But here are the pens. These are amazing. Yes, there's. I'm assuming this is a combination of Spanish and Latin on them, but this is hilarious. Slick, but he got it caught, so also not slick. Yes. So I am impressed with this. This is not easy work. And think about how long it took to do this. I mean, you had to sit there with a jeweler's magnifying glass, and I don't know how the guy did it. I really don't. I'd love to know how he did this because this is impressive. And I will say this much: when I have clients who do criminal things, sometimes they run impressive hustles or scams. And now that doesn't mean I'm just impressed at what they can do at times. The ingenuity of the human mind is something to behold. You could become Elon Musk or Henry Ford, or you could become Tony Montana and Pablo Escobar. I mean, both of them are, impressive at times. Lil Fisticuff says also works on water bottles. Sure, but you probably this sounds like it was from a couple of years ago, like 10 years ago. You might not have had access to analogy and you could inscribe on, and that's probably a little too obvious. Because in the 90s said, why would you leave the evidence? They got caught, I'm assuming, and they got confiscated. Anna Wall says, just put all that effort into studying. Sure, I don't disagree. I got through law school and I'm a big moron, so. Muralist One says the guy should have been an engraver, not a lawyer. Yeah. Yep, the jeweler's loop and an etching tool. Yes, Trot, you're right. Imagine if he had studied. And a job well done says law's got to be broken. Sweet Tooth Fairy says, check out the Coke bottle label sheet. Oh, I've seen that. Now, I will say, for example, like the bar exam, you are not able to cheat like this. I can only speak for Ohio, but every other state generally is very, very hostile towards things. When you go in to take the bar, like when I took the bar, you could only bring in a handful of things. And they were very super observant of what you brought in. There were no, oh, I want to bring in something else. Nope. The rules are the rules. And if you don't, too freaking bad. If you try to argue, it's not going to go very well. You are going to have a very bad day. Yes, it is impressive work. Sweet Tooth is saying, I caught one of my students using her iWatch. Oh, that's not that hard. If you're wearing like a little computer on your wrist. Sir Fuck says, I'm gonna let you finish, but any idea how to cheat in chess? Perhaps something that vibrates and is in the shape of a spade. Yeah. Alpha Fox says law school itself wasn't difficult, especially when most classes are curved. Yeah, law school wasn't that bad, but I could see people cheating on the bar. Nero says, what do you think should happen with Elon's Neuralink work? I mean, it should I'm cool with people trying it, but there's no way in hell I'm putting that in my head. That's just you could put it all. What's stopping you from getting like a computer virus that like kills you or something? No, I like the idea. It's kind of cool, but I'll let other people be the beta testers and do it. That is not something I want to get involved with, but it'll be neat to see what it can do for people. So, Trot Golfer says live poker cheating is impressive. Yeah, like that one lady, she completely messed up though and gave it away. Alexandra says, if you get caught, don't you get disqualified on moral grounds? Oh, yeah. If you got caught cheating on the bar, it's really hard for them to say you've got the character and fitness to be an attorney. Yeah, I don't know if you can ever get back in at that point if you get caught cheating. So, yes, Don Mossy, you're right. 4chan would have fun with people's Neuralinks. I know. Imagine if you were on your Neuralink and you went to 4chan, and I'm talking about like 2005 4chan. Just that place is just a walking virus. That place is one entire computer virus. Scott X says Deus Ex was a warning, not a fiction. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. That's true. Oh. Diamonds and Henna says no, she didn't cheat. I find it hard to believe she didn't. That woman in the poker setting pushed out a set of cards and she had literally no way of winning, won, and then made the goofiest statement ever and then gave all the money back to the guy. Yeah. So that is it, guys, really, for tonight. I think we covered everything I wanted to get to. The axe murderer and this cop smashing windows, that'll be good stuff for next week. Definitely look into that. So, I did want to talk about tomorrow. No, we didn't. We didn't get to one thing. We did not get to one thing. We covered it earlier a couple of times. Patrick Lyoya, if you guys remember, we covered it a couple of different episodes of the Thursday night cast where the officer was chasing the guy in Michigan and the guy got a hold of his taser, so he shot him from his back, shot him in the back of the head. That man, that officer, Christopher Schur, has been charged with a felony for the murder and had his preliminary hearing today. What I was thinking about doing and bringing it up tomorrow is going over his preliminary hearing tomorrow. It was filmed. It is on YouTube and we can watch it. It's about an hour long. As long as my schedule dictates everything's right, I got a bunch of crap in the morning I got to knock out. Got to see a couple of guys in the jail. I should be back in the afternoon. Hopefully by about 3 or 4, I'll be watching this and we can go through it because I think it'll be very interesting. But just briefly, we can talk about it. This is for the shooting that occurred back in April. Christopher Schur faces second-degree murder charges. And this shows Schur struggling with Lyoya, a Congolese refugee. There were some interesting parts of this, though. And what did happen was, where does it talk about his... Where does it talk about... They don't, yeah, it's not on here, but the defense actually did call a bunch of witnesses. That normally doesn't happen in a preliminary hearing, and the purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to send your case over to the grand jury to be indicted. One of the victim's friends was talking, and they mentioned they've been basically drinking all night, and they had stopped in the morning. And Patrick Lyoya, when he was dead and they did his autopsy, he had a blood alcohol level of 0.29. So I'm assuming the cop could smell him reeking of alcohol too in the middle of all of this. And yeah, I get it. He's a drunk guy. He doesn't want to get arrested. Okay, whatever. I'm assuming in the Congo you can't drink and drive either. But who knows? Yes, Eric saying the actual good shoot. Yes, please. Yeah, we'll be doing it. Yeah, Jim, they may have found all those things, the fake ID, stolen cards in the car, which is great. But for that Officer Schur, he had no knowledge of any of that, no knowledge of any of those things going on. He was dealing with a guy who didn't have a license, didn't have insurance, didn't have registration, none of that stuff. And it makes sense now why the guy acted the way he did. Was like, and he arrested him because he was drunk and probably smelled like alcohol and was acting drunk. Now, in hindsight, it makes some sense. And they wrestled, and he didn't want to get arrested, and he fought back, and The officer tried to tase him because he wouldn't. Once again, guys, when the cop tells you it's time to cuff up, game over. You know, he fought and fought and fought, and then at some point, he kind of wrestled the taser out of Schur's hand, and Schur then went like that. I think he's got a hell of a self-defense claim. Do I think it was justified? That's a separate matter. Do I think that's a hell of a self-defense claim? Yeah. It's a very compelling self-defense case. And I think ultimately it probably was justified. I think it was it was a murky shoot, but it was a lot closer to the green side of the spectrum versus the red side of the spectrum. I don't know about that. You are allowed to go after and arrest people if you think there's a problem. Trot Golfer saying, Sean, love your streams, best on the tube. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But guys, Trot Golfer, he does some I guess I'll just share with everybody. He does some auditing out in the Arizona area. And unlike a lot of auditors who are, I'd say, big assholes and like to be confrontational and whatnot, Trot does it a little differently. I think he does a really good job about it. Comes about it in a different way, very laid back, very cordial. And guys, if you happen to want to see it, I think it's very interesting how he does it. And give him a look while you guys are out and about tonight on the YouTubes. Oh, Winning Reality. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Kimbo Nice says in the Congo, you can't get a driver's license until you can take a scalp of a rival tribe member. Ooh. I'd like to say that's not true, but who knows? Nobody's alt but mine says the witnesses for the state were bad. Ooh. We'll have to take a look at that. Definitely have to watch it. This last thing I'm probably going to cover, and we'll probably hang it up after this. Jim says you can open carry in Florida if you're fishing or hunting or on your way to fish or hunt. I always carry a fishing hook and some line just in case. And no, I know that. And I know there's the armed fisherman. He basically open carries all the time. And he's like, I got my fishing pole, which isn't bad. But wouldn't it be a lot neater if you can just say, I'm going to strap up and walk around town and whatever I want to do. I'm going to go to Walmart. You know, I think that's the way it should be. And given all the cool things you can do in Florida, I still don't understand why this law exists. Makes absolutely no sense why you guys can't get rid of it. I know it's not your fault, but why does your state legislator not get rid of it? I don't know. Sweetie says, why use the bullets to fish? Oh, no. Funny. Jim is saying, from what I heard, saw the hearing, it appeared the state was nerfing it and only charged for PR reasons. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, if that's still the case, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't charge someone with the hope it gets tossed later. If you don't think they should be charged, they shouldn't be charged. We'll see. We'll take a look at it, and I think we'll have a chance to evaluate it. Now, guys, like I said, hopefully by like 3 or 4, we'll watch it. Regardless, that would be my time to be getting home. We'll fire it up and go from there. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. I did want to say thank you to everybody here. I mean, still 252 people. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everybody who liked, subscribed, everybody here commenting questions. Always appreciate it. Super chats, everybody, my mods, Critter, Parallax, everybody who was here tonight. I always appreciate it. Jim, Stabby, I know you guys are here tonight too. Always appreciate your work. And later, Gaylord. Yeah. I love you too. Maybe with some homo involved. So, guys, remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.